Okay, welcome back everyone. It's been a really long time since I last uploaded the video to this channel. The last video on the channel was, if I'm not mistaken, about 5 months ago. At the time, we discussed the monorepo structure for a Flutter project and how to manage the monorepo project using Melos. We also touched a bit on the break I made, how the break can generate a skeleton for the Flutter Monorepo project. Monorepo Flutter. So in today's video, I want to give an update on the development progress of that break. So from the one break we demonstrated in the video, today it has become 4 separate breaks. Why did I split it? The goal is to be able to reuse certain parts from that break. So if, for example, at McDonald's, there are usually complete meals and a la carte options. I want to create it like that. Later, there will be a main brick here, which is the Flutter Modular Monorepo. And there will also be a la carte options from that main brick. For example, what we have now is the Flutter Wiki, which we use to generate the wiki package. Then there's the Flutter localization package and also the monorepo skeleton feature. So why am I breaking it down like this? So we can easily generate subsections of our project. We don't need to generate everything all at once. For example, if we want to create something new, we can generate it again. For instance, this Flutter UI kit can be generated as a standalone package or as part of the monorepo project you are working on. It's the same with this Flutter localization package too. It can be generated as a standalone package or as part of a monorepo project. Now, honestly, this one's different, and for this break, as the name suggests, feature monorepo skeleton. So this can only be used to generate features in a monorepo project using the monorepo structure. So they're dependent on each other. This can't be used with any other project, just this break. Alright, let's move on to our main break. So this is our main break now. Like we discussed in the video here before this break generates the basic skeleton directory structure for a filter project using a monorepo. A lot of stuff is already included here. Yeah, there's the Melos script, analysis option, linter rule, and we've also included the GitHub issue template, pull request template, workflow, and even a running configuration for VS Code. And also for what's it called for. This is for the ID. So that's it, everyone. For now, because this will grow quite a lot, the card style here will likely continue to develop over time. I might develop a few more bricks as part of the main brick. So to make it easier for everyone and avoid installing one by one, I thought of creating it as a bundle. So based on that, I'm thinking of creating a command line interface application, a CLI application. So you guys can feel confident using the command line. You can use all these bricks. Now, here comes Bantu Banua Coder CLI. So I've created a command line interface where you guys can run all these bricks or use all these bricks by just installing one tool here. Why? Because I've already bundled it. So I've also utilized the bundle feature from Mason. If you check the hooks, I've already bundled it with the UI kit and localization as well. Now, it's the same with this Banua Coder CLI. I've already included a bundle here to generate everything you all need. Okay. Instead of wasting time, let me just do a demo for you. Now here I have what's called an experiment, an empty folder. Now we're going to try running the command line tools. To run that, we use the BMW folder. So when we try to run the command, it will give several options. First, initialize monorepo. We use this to initialize a monorepo. Then generate feature skeleton. This is to generate a feature skeleton. Next, generate qubit or block skeleton, which is still a work in progress, so there's no break yet. It's still being worked on. Then generate localization package. And lastly, generate the UIG package. Now let me show you the localization package first. So when we select this option, it will first ask if we want to generate the package in the current directory. Now by default, if not, it will ask where we want to generate it. I'm trying to make localization. Okay, we're going to run the localization. What's the name of the application? Money Manager. So then will we generate this package as part of the project by default or not? By default, if not specified, when we run it, it will become a standalone package. So do we want to include the generated file in version control? Usually, friends in enterprise environments, if we work at an IT company with a GitHub, often include the generated file. But for open source projects, I typically don't include the generated file in version control. So the default is false. Okay, that it is, it's created the file, running Flutter pub upgrade, generating localization, and the code formatting is done that quickly, folks. Now, if we look, there's a localization folder. If we check it on VS Code, so this folder is already filled. The localization package, here it is called L10. It already includes localization using span. It already has slant, not spec unlisted, standalone option. If we look at the lid here, it's about this much. Okay, now there is a resolver. So this is the translation JSON file. It's already separated based on features. There's dialog, error, general success, so you can split the localization based on the categories you choose. Okay, then how about we generate it for the monorepo? Let's try to generate the localization package for the monorepo. Alright, let's try to make it localization. We choose the channel. It's called Manager 24. Okay, wait, I think we made the wrong choice. So we want the localization one. Should it be generated in the current directory? No. Localization money manager. Is it a monorepo? Yes. Now this will generate a different structure, folks, because we are using a monorepo structure. So if we check the folder, it's saved in the share folder. And so it becomes a kind of standalone package. What's it called? A package that's included in the shared module of a monorepo. Its structure is different, okay? That was for the localization package. Now let's try for the UI kit package. We can generate this UI kit package here. We are asked to choose from Cori. We insert it into Mono Manager UI kit. What's the name of the app? We choose Manu Manager. So Snap was the organization. Banua Coder, what's the domain? Comcast, then the prefix. So the component will use the prefix. For example, if we add my, the prefix could be like this. My in Pascal case or my in uppercase. So for example, if all input letters are lowercase, we can choose whether to use Pascal case or uppercase for the prefix. Because we're only using a 2-letter abbreviation, I'll choose uppercase. This is similar to before, whether to include the generated files in Git or not. By default, they're not. So here are the options. Should this package be generated as a part of a monorepo or standalone? The default is standalone. Okay, so it's starting to generate UI kit, and the example app is also, now it's running Flutter pub code formatting. All right, let's wait. All right, the package generation is done. Now we're generating the widget book project. Now it's creating the Flutter project for the widget. Now we've removed the unused files. Now let's install the package. Already using Flutter Gain, we generate the asset, update the bundle ID, update the hub name, and update the launcher icon. We generate localization for the widget book. Now we're running build runner to generate the contents in the widget. And this should be the final step, running the build runner. After this, we should be able to check it. There it is, the widget is done. If we look here, we can check it in VS Code. So the result is like this, guys. It generates one package. If we look here, it already generated the launch configuration for the widget book or example app, because it's a standalone package. It's in the example. Here's the example app. It's already a widget book with translations and mobile support. Then the UI kit is already included. There are predefined components. I want to add more components like assets, buttons, and cards. And it already has tests like test wrapper and test scenario model. Okay, so this is for the standalone version. Now, how about the version? For the Monorepo version, we can try it out. Choose UI kit. As usual, answer no to Money Manager. The app name is Money Manager. Our company manages this code as usual because we use uppercase for this. We include it as part of our monorepo. Let's look at the structure, okay? Here it first creates the UI kit package, the UI kit content, and the example content. Then we activate Flutter Gen CLI, generate assets using Flutter Gen, run Flutter pub, and lastly format the pin code. Now we're moving on to creating the widget bookmark. Okay, it's done. Let's install. Launcher icon now. Generate slang, move on to build runner, which takes quite a while. Later, during the process of running the build runner, we just wait. Okay, it's done. Now we can check the results again. If we look at VS Code, it already has the configuration for the ID. Then for VS Code, it's already there. So it's actually, this is the Money Manager widget book. It should go into the app folder, and the UI kit should go into the packages folder. So this is the structure. Okay, that was for the Money Manager UI kit. Let's continue. We're moving to the main course, which is the Flutter Modular Monorepo. We'll try to generate the monorepo. But first, let's make sure the folder is empty. Yes, it's empty. Now let's try to initialize the monorepo. Do we want to initialize monorepo in this folder? We're going to put it in the manager workspace. Alright, the application name is Money Manager. Our company is Bantu Banua Coder with a .com domain. For the prefix, we use BC. You can choose between Pascal case or uppercase. So the interesting part here is that we can choose the nature of programming, whether to use DIO or HTTP. By default, we use DIO. Next, do we want to include the generated file? No. Okay, here it is initializing now. This process is going to take quite a while, so we will wait. So later on, some bundles will be paid because, as you know, creating bundles and breaks takes time. And also, well, I have invested a lot of time, effort, and thought into creating these tools. As someone working with responsibilities, I hope to gain something from this product if it proves to be useful. So some of the bundles will be paid and you can access them for a fee. So what's the purpose? And actually it's so that I can continue to develop or maintain this project in the long term. And you guys can keep using and improving this package. So it will continue to make things easier and help you out. So if later you have a paid bundle, you can choose from the list. If not, we can just skip it. So the first time it generates the UI kit, it uses the bundle brick that we included earlier in the main course. So he continues making the book widget just like the previous one. Later, we'll check one by one what the purpose of having the domain, company name, application name, and so on actually is. Actually, the purpose remains the same. Domain and company name or organization name are used for the bundle ID. So for example, earlier the company's name was Banua Coder and its domain was .com. And so the bundle ID will be .com. .banuacoder. The app name, here it's Money Manager, so it will be com.banuacoder.moneymanager. Okay, here we go, running build runner again. Okay, the UI kit is done. Let's proceed with generating the translation package. Okay, the design file preparation is done. Now we have the env, staging env, and development env all set up. Now we're working on the main app project. So we use Flutter Flavorizer to run the flavors and create the flavors. So there are three main flavors: development, staging, and production. Well, we generate all of them using Flutter Flavorizer. Okay. So here we already have the idea run configuration updated. Launcher icons plus screen. Okay, main app is successfully created. Next is Melos again. Let's check the root dependency from the monorepo. Then we check if Melos is already activated or not. If not, we activate it first. This is active, so Melos is already activated. Then we update permissions for the scripts folder. So there is a scripts folder that you can use later. The script there is for running tests in parallel across the entire micro package. So for you to execute this in the CI/CD pipeline, you'll need this script, and you have to change its permissions to make it executable within that directory. Now it's running the melon bootstrap command, so we're bootstrapping it now. Well, let's just wait for the process. This might take a while. I'll try to fast forward this part. Okay, the bootstrap is done. Now running the Melos format. Then Melos fix. Melos fix is the proxy from datafix apply. Okay. All right, it's done. Let's see. There's already the money manager workspace. Next, let's check it out. The result is okay. Here's the result, guys. So if we look at the structure, it's already using Monorepo. There's a script here. So if you guys see the localization package, it's here. There's shared dependency, config options, and a few flavors. Development, staging, production. Then this is the script to combine the coverage plugin, which we don't have yet. Our package is Money Manager Kit. We have a default home feature here. Okay. I've updated the routing to the latest version. So in AutoRoute version 9, we can now manage each route internally within the micro package. So later the demand app, we just need to import the route. So here we just use the home router, and we just append it to the list. So the app logic doesn't need to know how the routing logic works inside, because that's how it should be. The routing is handled by its respective modules. Okay, now let's try to run it. As usual, this already includes dev staging and widget. Let's try running the dev one. Okay, earlier we knew that at its core we chose to use Dio. So if you see here, we use Dio for our networking. Now this is using Dio. You guys can also use HTTP. So earlier we use the prefix in the component. For example, here we have a button. So the prefix is BC, making it BC button. This is because we used uppercase. It was uppercase here. Alright, since this will take quite a while, we'll try to fast forward from here. Okay, it's done. I'm just waiting for the launch. Okay, here it is. So there's already a splash screen. Now if we look at the home page, yeah, Money Manager or server, there's a splash road for the splash screen. Now we're at the home browser. Alright, if you guys can see here, it already includes the dev launcher icon. So this is quite complete already here. Just like before, we already have the book widget here that we can run. Alright, next. So these command line tools are also smart enough to know if we are running the command in a monorepo. But if it is, like now, it will show the command to initialize the monorepo again. Now we will try to generate the the expected feature. When we generate a feature, it will create a new folder, a new package here for that feature, and add it to the entry point and to the routing as well. So you add the routing here as well. Now let's try to see if he will do that. Okay, first we are asked to input the feature name. Let's try profile management. Next, just like before, do we want to add the generated file to Git or not? The default is false. Okay, let's wait. Now it's compiling. It's checking the folders in this app. So you can choose the feature you want to generate, whether it's for the widget book app, the money manager app, or the main app. So this is for the main app. We'll try it later. All right, he's running Flutter Pub first. If we look here, the folder is already here. Profile management. After running Flutter PUBG earlier, then it runs Blitz Runner. How about the feature from earlier? Okay. Let's wait for the process. Now, after running this build runner, now he added the management profile into this apps folder. So this is automatically added here, profile management, right? Here we can see a new entry point, and it also updates the router as well. So in this routing, it is automatically added. So we don't need to do it manually anymore, guys. This already has the management profile router. And finally, he will sync it to the entire project by writing Melos gate. This will really speed up our process of creating a new feature. This is already done. He's already painted it into his routine, right? Okay, so guys, that's a brief overview of the project I'm working on. Later, all these bricks will be bundled into this CLI. You just need to choose like I did earlier. If there's time, I can't promise if it can be released this year because I'm really busy with real world stuff in the next reward, both in work and personal life. I can't promise to release it today or this year. I still want to see how enthusiastic everyone is about this brick. If many people find it very useful and can actually use it, then what I will consider for this playlist as soon as possible. But if it's still not enough, I will keep trying to improve. I will keep trying to enhance this tool so it can be beneficial for fellow Flutter engineers. Wherever you guys are, I'm going to try to add a few things, new things, like templating maybe for the login screen. Then there will be more options to choose from. Like earlier, we could choose the network library, whether to use Diat or HTTP. Maybe I will add more in the future. Same goes for state management. Currently, it still uses block and qubit. Maybe in the future, I can add the options. So you can choose which set to use, whether it's from the old days, provider, Velocity qubit, or use Riverport, maybe also GameX. And I'll also give you the option to include Firebase or not. Alright, that's all for now. I will keep updating the progress of this break through this channel. God willing, if there's any update, I'll update again through a video like this one. For now, that's all. Thank you and see you in the next video.